this is the Old Tube Radio Network.
All right, no audio there. So maybe we won't have the jingle singers. You just never know. But with that said, I want to welcome our viewers and listeners to the Old Tube Radio Network, where we will have, hopefully, if anybody is still around, the best in vintage tube-style citizen band radios. Let's see what we can do here on the Old Tube Radio Network. We're listening.
Number 7.
40 from.
Break OTR.
All right, we've got a few things. We've got SWL7 and 45. Let me get started with those two check-ins. I'd like to get some radios going here because we are a little bit behind. So with that, Paul will be right with you. But first, hello, Mr. Ed.
And hello, Dennis and OTR, all the SWLs out there. This is the Robin T123. No B, because this one has the winking and blinking eye, which tells me it's definitely doing something.
It is doing something. It has some very nice audio with the winking and blinking eye, meaning he's referring to the Magic Eye tube. I think that's... What is that? I think that's a 6RE13 as the official designation there. I'm going to see if I can get our other camera to work here. It's actually working the way it should work now. I kind of like the way it was working last week. Sort of broken, but it was there. All right, there's the radio, and back to you for some audio.
Yes, that's just like this one here, only I do not have the Robin microphone. This one has a Silver Eagle D104.
All right, sounding very good. Getting us started off. What are we at? About 9 o'clock, boy. Way behind here. 9:09. First radio out of the gate with the Robin T123. This was the chassis, I believe, made in America. 11 tubes, 2 transistors thrown in there. Can go 11 volts, can go 12 volts or 115 volts AC, and it's doing a good job here on AM. Give us another transmission before we move on.
There you go. I'll have to get the way to wire it for the mobile and get a picture of it and put it out there in the 64 pickup. It's green, the radio's green, and match.
Green is a good thing, and we have not yet had a mobile radio check-in here in 2017, and I'm suspecting that we might get a few. So we'll be looking for that. Thanks for the Robin. Give us another transmission, and sounding good on radio number 1 tonight.
And thank you. I'll definitely have to work on that mobile, and we'll let you go.
All right, so we are back. All right, now I can see now I can see the camera's going to be giving me problems tonight. So we'll see what we can do with that. So if you're watching on the YouTube video, the bit rate and the HD rate may be changing back and forth a little bit. Something's changed, but hopefully that doesn't mess you guys up too much. Radio number 2 is in the wings, waiting. Hello, Paul, SWL45.
Yeah, Dennis, I want to check in my General Radio telephone, Super MC8.
All right, General Radio Telephone Super MC8, sounding good. We'll go back to you. Can let us know microphone you're using, and let's see. That's the 8s. I think are the first designations when they put the Super in front of them. I'm not sure what made them do that. Maybe it was the modulator tubes they were using, but after that, they're hard to beat for audio. That's for sure. Back to you.
Yeah, that is the first Super of the MC series. Of course, they went to the 9, and the 10, I believe, was a business band radio. So that's why they didn't use an MC10 there. They went to the 11, and then they had trouble with it. Then they went to 11A. Same radio, but it was repaired. They recalled both of them. I'm lucky I got one that wasn't recalled, so I'm pleased with that. Then it went to the big MC12. That was the end of it, Dennis. Back to you.
Yeah, and we have had them all check in. There is the MC8 if you're watching the video at YouTube, and that is one of, I don't know if it's the one that Paul is talking on, but that is one from his collection, I should say Super MC8, with the 9 tubes. Believe it or not, that was a $200 radio, when at the time Browning and Trams and some other ones were selling upwards of $400 or $500. You could still grab a pretty decent bargain from General Radio Telephone. You are radio number 2, back to you.
Yeah, okay. You know, get back to the microphone on that. It's a General Radio Telephone microphone. It's a CMS, I believe it is. No, VSM. I'm real messed up. A VSM, which is a vibration service microphone. General made what I read, and most of the things, they changed the microphone somewhat from ceramic. So this is not a carbon mic, this is ceramic microphone. So you don't know what you're going to get. I think the early ones were all carbon, of course, and they got into the upper models, into the 7s, 6, 7s, and such as that. They went to the ceramic. That's about all I got on the thing, Dennis, and that is the radio, my radio I'm talking on right there. Thanks for checking it in, Dennis.
All right, thanks for bringing it by. Some information on these radios can be found at oldtuberadio.com. There is a list, and if you find the radio you're wanting to look at, click on it, and a lot of times it'll bring up tube complements and pictures, things like that. Or you can do what we do best here, hang out with us on Saturday nights and hear it live and direct. The General Radio Telephone Super MC8, sounding good from Paul, SWL 45. Thanks for bringing it by. The Old Tube Radio Network listening.
77.
And 77. Hello, Dennis. Got you, and you are sounding good. I have a feeling that you might have Radio 3 for us tonight.
B&K, division of Dynascan, good old Cobra Cam 88.
All right, I believe I can find a shot of the Cobra Cam 88. I don't think it will be that one. I don't think we have yours on file, but we will go back to you for not only the video, but the audio, which is what we'll talk about. Very, very nice sounding, very smooth sounding AM audio on the Cobra. Over.
Yeah, the good old Cobra, all the tubes are glowing, and we back it up with a EV664 Electro Voice, and boy, the two of them are a match made in heaven.
For sure, just a nice sounding audio. We do archive, as a lot of people know, the audio here, which you can pick up at oldtuberadio.net in the archive section. Also, we keep the videos up for a while. That uses, hopefully, I think we're doing it right tonight, uses the same direct feed MP3 audio, so you'll be able to hear what's going on. That's a pretty radio. Almost looks like you could substitute a little video screen. I guess if that radio was made today, it would look exactly like it does in our photo, or as it does to you, but instead of that speaker, they would probably have a touch video display screen. Also like the older style S-meter as well. Over.
Radio check, over.
Radio check, you are 9 pounds, good modulation, Chestnut and Herndon.
And the way it's backlit in a perfect circle around the meter itself, it's very unique. And yeah, it would almost fit into one of those movies called Back to the Future there, if you had that digital touchscreen in the front of it.
Yeah, and to put the speaker somewhere else, I guess. But pretty radio, very nice sounding audio. And what do they say? What does the teacher say? Let that be a lesson to you out there, those of you who are running power microphones or amplified microphones and things like that. Sometimes less is more. There is typically a good setting and a great setting and a not so great setting. It takes a while to find them out. We like to help people out here at the Old Tube Radio Network if you're checking microphones and things, and we will do our best to get you up to the perfect sound for the microphone and radio you are using. Great example of that right here with the radio number 3 and the Cobra, B&K Cobra Cam 88. Thanks for bringing it by, Dennis. Give us another transmission on the Old Tube Radio Network.
Okay, Dennis. Glad we could bring it out and blow the dust off of it and let everyone enjoy it right along with us. And once again, appreciate all your effort and hard work there, and you did it again. You pulled a magic rabbit out of your hat. We'll get on the side here and listen to all the other beautiful radios that are out there tonight.
Okay, thanks. I wanted to give thanks to the real magic rabbit, Frodex, over there at SearchLawrence.com, who waved the magic wand and did whatever he needed to do on the clip leads, and got our 6L6 to start glowing right on time, as a matter of fact, at 8 o'clock. And I'm thinking he might reset the stream, so I might be okay with the SWL stream. We'll check everything out there. So thanks, Frodex, for getting that up and running. Some technical issues here with the major audio board, which is back here in the mix. Lost that, and that's pretty much the feed for everything. So we've done a workaround through some of the audio equipment to get the audio back into the radio, into the audio stream, and then to get my audio in. If you can see it here, we are using, let me hold it up here, we are using the Turner, there it is, the Turner Sidekick microphone. So yeah, if you're listening in on the video, that's the way I should sound if I could have the thing in front of my face. But we're doing well just to get audio all the way around. So it's interesting. It's interesting how these things work, if indeed they do work. We are listening for radio number 4 on the Old Tube Radio Network.
Number 7.
Okay, that heard somebody else in there. SWL7, I definitely heard you with radio 4. Take a transmission, and what's glowing in the dark over there?
Well, let's see. It starts with an EF. I guess that's Elmer Fudd. Johnson, Messenger, 223.
All right, well, Johnson made, I mean, everybody knows that the Messenger 2, the Messenger 223, they actually had other radios, a 123 and a 323, but we don't hear much of them. Why? Because they are not the glow-in-the-dark tube type. But one of our favorites is indeed that very one there. So if I can find a proper photo, we'll mix it in with your next audio transmission over.
Oh, well, yes, this one here is in pretty darn good shape. Unfortunately, I did not get the Johnson microphone with it, so we have a Silver Eagle hooked to this one. But yeah, for a simple little radio, it's actually got a really nice receive to it. And hey, simple operate, can't really go wrong.
Well, like I said, Johnson was no spring chicken, no slouch when it came to transmitters for sure. By that time, in 1968, they had already produced some really great big iron amateur radio transmitters that are still on the air today. If anybody's out there listening, SWLing on the AM windows, 38. Let's see, is our New York station still listening? We'll put a plug in for the East Coast guys. 3880 to 3890, 3885 is a gentleman's agreement on 75 meters for some great AM wind. I guarantee you will hear some E.F. Johnson transmitters. Here on the West Coast, 3870 for your AM transmissions on 75 meters, and there are some other frequencies, but probably your best bet right now to hear some great AM. Notwithstanding, of course, our Old Tube Radio Network here on Saturday nights. Radio number 4. I haven't even written it down yet. I'm so excited to actually have some radios coming in, and there's no space on the desk with the Turner microphone in the way. Give us another transmission on the E.F. Johnson. Over.
That I can do, and with that, I definitely have at least 1 or 2 more I'll get in before the night's over.
All right, I think I will be able to do that. The Messenger 223, first making its appearance in around 1969, early 1969, lasted till about 1972. They came out with, I think they had a Messenger 250 Golden Edition, the 323, the 123, the mobile radios. But that's the one we like here. Radio 4 sounding good. Thanks for bringing it by on the Old Tube Radio Network.
Station?
And the station, go ahead.
It's SWL 93, and I want to check in this Johnson Messenger 223 without the modulation light.
Okay, and that is similar to the one we just had, Radio 4 and Radio 5, both from E.F. Johnson. Now, I've switched the photo over at the YouTube page to show the modulation light, because you mentioned it. So I'm gonna put that picture up, and then we will switch back to the one without the modulation light so that people can see what it is that you're actually sitting in front of. Go ahead, Louis, with radio number 5.
Yeah. This one here, it doesn't have the modulation light, but it's got the big meters and the big knobs, and it's really nice, man, for what it is. So here it goes.
All right, yeah, and indeed, for basic radio that gives you everything you need, you can't beat 23 channels, a big S meter, front fire speaker, and most of them typically came with a microphone. I know Ed was using a different microphone. Does yours have the supplied, it should say Johnson across the talk bar, push to talk bar if it does, if you're using the original Johnson desk mic.
You know, I don't know if this is the original Johnson mic. It's a black stock mic. It's not powered or nothing.
Okay, well, I lost my photo there. What happened? There we go. All right. Well, if it was the original mic on your push to talk bar, you would have the word Johnson.
Negative. I don't see anything of Johnson.
All right. Well, like Mr. Ed before you on the 223, it's working well, so you don't need to change a thing to get the audio. Looking good, sounding good on the old Tube Radio Network. Thanks for bringing it by, Louis. Give us another transmission on Radio 5. Doing a good job.
Alrighty then, I'll let it go, and you guys all have a good Father's Day and all that kind of stuff, and we'll be sitting on the side with the Johnson 223 Messenger. Not back out.
All right, let people know this is the old Tube Radio Network. Real radio's going in the dark. A few technical difficulties at the beginning, losing some gear here audio-wise, having some issues remotely with the big tube, which has been solved. Scooter says it is safe to come into the radio room, so say hi, everybody. All right, and we will keep it going here for as long as we can check in radios. Also, I want to say hello to SWL20, who has grabbed the Universal Media NetWeb and is saying hello over at oldtuberadio.net. I hope you can listen in safely, Harvey. We have had some technical difficulties tonight, but seems like it's all happening when we can. My apologies for the audio here on the stream, but that's what a Turner Sidekick mic will do for you. Still hanging in with us tonight, Fayetteville, North Carolina. 128 is in. Hello, 68. I think I got you checked in. Yes, I did. And Auberry, Las Vegas, our Las Vegas station. I will see if I can check in on the video. I haven't made any comments there. Just had a lot going on here and others. So glad some of you are still sticking with us. And we are looking for radio number 6 on the old Tube Radio Network.
45.
Okay, and there was another station in there, kind of weak, but I heard 45 for sure. So let's go over to Paul and see what he has up on the radio table. Over.
Okay, my general radio telephone, Super MC9.
Okay, we are going chronologically from the MC8, Super MC8, I should say, to the Super MC9. And I will grab a picture of that. Also want to say hello to TJ. TJ watching on the internet. Scooter says hello to TJ, and also W06JEH, Robert Wallace, who's been listening in, I believe, near Las Vegas, wishing a happy Father's Day to all here at the old Tube Radio Network. In the meantime, let's grab a picture and go back to the audio of the Super MC9. Over.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the picture, but I'll get back to the microphone later on. Hey, this is the first one that they had to have the ECLL 800 tube in this one. they really upped the price on all the tubes and everything. They did this thing, but yeah, that's it. That's the one. But they upped the price on everything, but the radio is a lot louder, I believe, than the 8. It may not be the way I'm talking into the microphone, but it's supposed to be. Anyway, there's a microphone on top of that thing. That's, I believe it's a Turner. That thing is cast aluminum and shiny, and boy, I mean, it weighs a ton. So, and ceramic element in the thing also. Anyway, there's some more out there. I'll let you do it, Dennis. Back to you.
Okay, well, I think you did a good job there. All right, now I'm losing my headphones. On telling us about the Super MC9. What I notice, the audio has a little bit more fidelity, perhaps. That just could be the microphone difference. But on the meter-wise, looks like it has a little bit more punch in the, I guess, forward modulation department. Maybe the RF a little bit better with that too, but it seems like it has a bit stronger signal, so it makes the audio, by doing that, makes the audio sound louder, even though it may or may not be. I think that the 9 was, or the 8 was a 9-tube radio. The Super MC9 we're showing as a 10-tube radio. Like you said, with that valve number 8, the phase inverter modulator ECLL 800, doing a good job with the continuously tunable receiver. And yes, indeed, those would go 12-volt DC if you had the proper cabling. Back to you for another transmission. Thanks for bringing by number 2 in the Super Series for General Radio Telephone.
Yeah, okay. This also has the pass band tuning on the thing. That's that little knob right below the meter on the front. And, well, I mean, it works good. It's like a little VFO. You tune it into an answer on the thing. It really works good. A great improvement over the 8. That's one of the best improvements on the thing. Okay, thanks again for checking it in, Dennis.
All right, and thanks for bringing it by. Again, my apologies to those for the tardiness tonight, and maybe the audio quality is a bit down. But we are keeping it together and doing what we try to do best, and that is check in as many radios as possible, thanks to our tube radio operators who, despite some mishaps here in the control room, still are out there checking in radios. OTR standing by.
Number 7.
And number 7 with maybe Radio 7, over.
That it could be comes from Tram Electronics. It's the TR-27 Echo.
Okay, I can find one of those. I know you have found one, the Tram TR-27E. What do we have here? Things are flying. we got a big bug in here. So let's Scooter will take care of that. June bugs in the studio. Let's try a shot of the Tram TR-27E while we listen to some great audio. Over.
Oh, there you go. In fact, the picture you have up is the very radio on which I speak. I know because it has that little silly switch in the middle that was put in by somebody else. This one also has a classic microphone, the Electro-Voice 638.
Yeah, a choice, that microphone, a choice for tube radio operators in the Collins mode. Probably a few of the Drake guys like them as well, and a perfect match for a radio that looks like, if you're looking at oldtuberadio.net, the picture is there. If you're watching us on YouTube, the picture is there. The big green machine that Ed is sitting in front and giving us another transmission. Over.
There you go, and give an idea of the size of it. The speaker there is a 5x7 speaker, and the S meter is quite large. It's 3 inches tall by 3.5 inches wide.
Yeah, I think they had that on one of their other radios. I don't know. I guess maybe they just stopped using them because they had to make the radio smaller or something. But that is, for those of you who are shortwave listeners and have some of the old Hallicrafters radios, that reminds me certainly of a radio you would see on a big shortwave receiver. So you can definitely give some great signal reports with that one. Back to you for transmission, Ed. Thanks for bringing it by. Always good to hear number 7 with Radio 7 on the Old Tube Radio Network.
show, and thank you. Always enjoy getting out here on OTR when I can, especially when there's no noise. With that, I definitely have one more before it's all over.
Okay, and hopefully it will be all over at the right time. Tonight, we weren't sure if it was going to be all started. See, now my headphones are leaving me, but I do see that we're putting in audio in the right places, so I will assume that I am on the air. You're listening to the Old Tube Radio Network. Real Radio is glowing in the dark. If I haven't said it before, we are live at 27085. That's channel 11. We are in the Central Valley of California, transmitting, and also going live with an audio stream at oldtuberadio.net, wherever you may be in the Universal Media Netweb, and of course trying to do a little bit of YouTube video from the control room here, and providing you with some photos of the radios when they check in, to kind of get an idea of what our tube radio operator is controlling. Scooter the Radio Cat is here, making sure that I don't break anything, and we are listening for radio number 8.
75.
And sounding loud and clear. Hello, 75.
If I have a O2 radio and I don't think you can hear it, I was going to see if you could hang on about 5 seconds and I can go jump in there and turn it on and see if you can hear it.
Yeah, well, we'll give it a shot here, see if it's putting out a signal. If it's anywhere near channel 11 and probably 100 milliwatts or better, I'm thinking we should be able to hear it. So I will be standing by. Go ahead and change the coax or whatever you have to do, and we'll see if we can give it a listen.
Okay.
Oh wow, I do hear it. It is certainly not the amount of audio that you have on your other radio, but it is happening. So if you can hear me, give us a transmission, see if we can pick up some items here. Okay, you know, that last transmission was not as good as the first. The audio is starting to go weak on it, so I did not get the make or model number if you gave it to me. Over. All right, try it again. I'm thinking you might be a little off frequency. Give me the make and model again. Over. All right, I copy Courier Royale. The Courier Royale, it's got a little bit of issues with the audio, and the signal is certainly a lot down from your other radio, but I'm hearing it, so it seems to be working that way. So let me grab a shot. We do have another Courier that checks in. That was their top-of-the-line radio, believe it or not. So if we get the thing running top shape, you will be very happy, I'm sure. Give us another transmission on the Courier, see if it's behaving. All right, you said something about an SWL. It's just the audio's a little bit weak for me to copy. Someone else may be getting you a little bit better if they're closer to you, but I copy that you were on the Courier Royale. Over. Okay, I think you're saying it's a radio that may belong to another station, SWO, but I can't quite get the number there. All right, and I am hearing it. I think it's a little bit low on frequency. Carrier's low, audio's low, everything is low. So I lowered my chair down a little bit, and I can hear it a lot better. You are radio number 8 on the Courier Royale, and if you want to go back to the other radio, we'll pick up anything that we didn't catch, but you are definitely logged in on the Courier Royale for Radio 8. Over. And Patrick, I don't know, were you able to switch back to your other radio?
Yep, I'm here.
All right, I'm just making some adjustments because I'm losing my headphone audio. I think I can. I think we're going to make it through tonight before it blows up here. All right, you were mentioning something about an SWL there at the end, which I did not catch. Over.
Well, I was hoping to get SWL 20 phone number in landline. Maybe I could get some help to kind of clean that radio up. It used to be really great, and I just took it out of storage today. It's been in there for, I know it's over 10 years since you've heard that one.
Wow, okay, yeah, it might just need, the tubes reseated and some other things, because it's transmitting, and it has audio. It's just a little weak, so it sounds like it might be something fairly easy. 20 is not at the radio. I think he is actually listening, though, on the Universal Media Netweb. So if you're listening, Harvey, or still listening, which I think you might be, that's SWL 75 Patrick, who has resurrected his... That's the nice thing about having OTR here for 30 years. You can bring back a radio that you checked in 20 years ago and and try and get it back on the air. So we'll see if we can't get together with Harvey and maybe do some tweaking and peaking on that one in future episodes. So keep it handy, Patrick. But it is working. So that's a big plus, I think. The fact that it's there and doing a transmission just needs a little bit of encouragement. Over.
Yeah, I think it needs a little cleaning. But that's what I think. But at any rate, yeah, if I can get a hold of Harvey, I can't find his phone number anywhere. I've been wanting to catch him for a few years, and I just never can. But at any rate, I'll let you go. I really appreciate that you checking that radio. At least we know it's transmitting, receiving, so that's a good foundation to start on.
Indeed, yeah, it's doing okay that way. It's just low on signal, and that could be. It could have fine audio. It just could be the signal. Signal's a little bit low. All right, we did log you in as Radio 8, got you in on the SWL list, and I think we're looking good. And trying to get a few more radios in here before we sign out. I don't know which is going to come first, an official sign out or an official blow up of all the equipment here. OTR listening. And let's see, hello to Brian, the mighty KUH, listening probably on 75 meters tonight. Might be on the transistor radios or maybe on the tube radios, but he's saying it sounds a lot like 75 on the summer, which is a little bit of static crashes and some noise, but you get the stations with the good antennas and a little bit of decent audio, and anything is possible. Same way it is here, right on the old Tube Radio Network. We are listening for radio number 9.
Break OTR?
The break OTR, go ahead, please.
I do believe I have an item for you. The Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB.
All right, I'm sure I have room for that on my list here, and you are definitely making the Eagle fly tonight. Over.
Yeah, I figured what the heck, might as well make the old Eagle scream a little bit, being as the Brownings do that quite well.
Well, yours in particular, I think you may have the Select-O-Matic ping where depending on your mood or what's going on in the frequency, you can kind of dial in the amount necessary.
Oh, you mean kind of like that? Yeah. Yeah, I have multiple modes on this one, so for whatever flavor I feel like.
All right, and I'm sure some will be happy that it is adjustable, especially if they're having a headache or something. But it sounds good. I've got the headphoniums on, and you know, when you're liking the old tube radios, anytime they key up, regardless of the sound they make, is a good thing.
There you go. As long as it's keying, the needles are moving in the appropriate direction, and of course the two-piece radio, everything looking like it's supposed to. Everything's good.
Everything is good. Radio 9 at 9, we'll call it 9:42. The Browning Golden Eagle Mark III production. When the production began on those, probably around 1972. And they had they sort of took everything in the Mark II and squeezed it all into two pieces. Although I think you could get, and it's rare, a Mark III AM only. It had the smaller transmitter, but they put the sideband transmitter in that one, and so the transmitter receiver became the same size. It looks very pretty. Browning was smart to just sort of like, I think I mentioned this before, sort of like See's candies. It's sort of like, instead of making the candy with with inferior ingredients so we can keep the price the same, we're just going to raise the price and make sure we give you the best radio possible. So at this time, I think the radios were up past $700 over.
Oh, there you go. Definitely a large, expensive radio. In fact, my very first time seeing a CB radio, it happened to be a Browning Golden Eagle. It had the big D104 on it, although I don't think it was the gold-plated like this one. No, it was just a regular D104. But yeah, that was so expensive that we were told not to touch. Now I have one, I can touch it all I want.
That's right, and we're glad you do here on Saturday nights. I think my first one I got to see up close and personal was at the Bakersfield CB Jamboree in 1972. That was one of, I think that was the grand prize actually. It was a Browning Golden Eagle Mark III. There was other stuff, but I just remember driving from Southern California up to Bakersfield in hopes to win that radio, and of course I did not. Over.
Oh man, that would definitely be a sweet one to win. But with that, we'll let you get back to checking in, hopefully, patch more of those old tube radios.
Okay, yeah, we still got time, and let's see, 28 is on the air on the internet. Okay, good deal. I don't know what you did, 28, and you must have said the magic words, and welcome to the Old Tube Radio Network. And if I didn't say so, hello to Rich out there in Missouri. We are keeping it patched together tonight here on the Old Tube Radio Network, hoping that we can make it at least to 10 o'clock before it, at least all falls apart on this end. We are looking for, thanks Ed, we are looking for radio number 10.
45.
And maybe we've got it. Hello, 45, over.
Good. This is my Robin T240D.
All right, you know, I don't think we've had, I'm just checking, I'm not sure if we've had a 40-channel radio or not. The Browning, some of the Mark IIIs had 40-channel receive in them, but looking in, I think you may get the prize for the first 40-channel radio tonight. I'll see if I can find a shot of the executive, the Yellow Bird, from Robin, while you give us a transmission over.
Okay. Yeah, I'll look at the picture of it on the camera here too. Anyway, this thing's in SAMS 187, and I'm looking at the digital readout on the face up there, 711 digital readout. So you know what it is. It's a hybrid. It's got 9 tubes in it, and it's manufactured by Panasonic in Japan for Robin. Oh, that's the whole story on the thing. If you can add anything to it, Dennis, back to you.
Well, let's see what I can add to it. In fact, I think most, I say most because not all of them, but most of the 40 channel radios that are single piece come off of that chassis. Like the Colt Midnight Special, there are some other ones that had the 40 channels. Panasonic, similar chassis to like the 123 Bravo, but with 40 channels. Good thing about that is it was a really good bass. I think they are plate modulated, and if you get any of those radios, the 40 channel Panasonics, you can't go wrong. The front panel is going to be a little bit different, but the insides are going to be very, very similar, and they all sound good. Getting us into the double digits on the radios tonight, radio number 10, Paul on his Robin 240D. Give us a another transmission. Thanks for running it by.
Yeah, this has the range expanded on the thing. 5 different lights, no, 7 different lights, and the meter and the channel readout on the thing. Really classy radio. But anyway, I'm talking on the current +3 microphone on the thing, amplified.
Okay, it's good. That is a good setting. Your signal is a little bit weaker on this radio than some of the other ones you checked in on. The Generals tonight had a little bit more signal. So having the extra audio is helping out nicely. And at least from what I'm hearing here, about 40 miles away from where you're at, there is no distortion, and that's helping things out. The Robin T240D, 40 channels. Pretty much in 1976-77, when the FCC banged the gavel and said, okay, we're going to expand to the 40 channels since most of you are already using them anyway, so we'll make it official and make it legal that you have to go crystal controlled, and that pretty much put a damper on 23 channel radio sales. The prices plummeted, but these radios here, the 40 channel radios, took off like a rocket. Were very, very popular from then on, obviously. Thanks, Paul. It's doing a good job.
Yeah, I just kicked the range boost on. Did that destroy the modulation on everything?
No, actually it brought it up quite a bit. It's doing a good job.
Okay, it's better with it on then, of course, I guess, huh?
Yeah, it's better with it on. You could probably back down on the +3 audio now to make things a little bit nicer, but that helped a great deal here with the audio boost.
Oh, great. Thanks a million. I'll be looking for it on the outside. Thanks again, Dennis.
All right, doing a good job. That actually, that radio has some good forward modulation, so adding, close to 100% modulation on the audio helped things out on the meter response as well. My apologies to those wanting the jingle singers tonight. We tried them earlier and things were a little bit shaky, and because I've repatched a lot of things in and out of the audio board, I didn't want to jeopardize anything else, so jingle singers are having a deserved evening off. Mr. Announcer is out in the lobby doing whatever they're doing out there, and I hope to join them soon, bar any smoke and bad things happening here in the studio. The Old Tube Radio Network, Real Radio is glowing in the dark. We're looking for any and all check-ins and Radio 11. And let's see, who else is listening? Dennis from Ohio, from another Dennis here in California, saying hello and thanks for watching and listening. We're having a little bit of audio issues here, but I think we've made it onto the internet as well as 27085, which is where we're at here in Central California. OTR standing by. And if I didn't do it already, let's see, wanted to say this week, happy birthday this week to our SWL 00, Phil, who is now at least 39, I think.
Break, OTR.
Yes, we're still here. It's working. Hello, radio from OTR.
Hello, Dennis. SWL 37 here. Want to check in my general radio telephone, the Super MC11A, 24 channel tuber that glows in the dark with a handheld stock microphone.
All right, that is a good choice for check-in tonight. Paul has been giving us the lineup, the rundown on the first issues of the Super Series with his General Radio Telephone Super MC8 earlier, and the General Radio Telephone Super MC9, and that takes us up to right where we're at now with your General Radio Telephone Super MC11A, and as always sounding really, really nice on the audio. Over.
Well, thank you. Now, did they make a 10?
No, they did not make a 10.
Well, boy, they shortchanged us, didn't they?
But they made two 11s.
Made two 11s, 11 and 11A, huh?
Yeah.
Well, better late than never, huh?
Yeah, I wish they would have kept going. Yeah, with the 12 kind of not getting type accepted, I think sort of hurt them there. But the 11A is definitely a good item, and it is Radio 11, by the way.
Oh, but now that's timing. I wasn't paying attention. I've been doing stuff around here and lost track of time. And I was wondering how come I wasn't hearing anybody, so I went in here and I realized I had the volume turned down for some ungodly reason.
Maybe I've been talking too much. That makes a lot of people turn the volume down.
I think what happened, I had my chair turned around and hit the knob and turned it down.
Oh, okay. Well, you're hearing me. It must be up now. The radio's sounding great. We got a picture at oldtuberadio.net up on the video page. 9 tubes and 2 transistors, of course, with the ECLL 800 putting that great audio out. Give us another transmission on Radio 11, and it's sounding good.
Thank you, Dennis. Well, this is mine. I'm going to turn this off, and I'm going to try to turn one more on here and see if I can get it in there before the midwitching hour.
Okay, I was going to try and stay in a little bit later tonight because I got started late, but boy, I'm just hanging in here with weird configurations, so I don't think I want to push it too much, and then I'm going to have a lot of work trying to figure out what blowed up around here. But anyway, we're working, and we'll be listening.
I was going to ask you a question also. How did the fundraiser go there at the station?
Let's see, that was a couple of weeks ago. We did pretty good. You know, fundraisers are what they are. They take a lot of work, and we appreciate the people coming out, and we provided some good music and raised a little bit of money to keep the station on the air, since it is a non-commercial public radio station, and we'll hope to do more. So we did okay.
So did you have a gathering outside the station there, or what?
No, this was out at the Engelman Cellars in west of Fresno, where we had some live music up on a stage.
And where was that at?
At Engelman Wine Cellars, out west of Fresno.
Oh, all right. Yeah, I wish I'd known.
Had the T Sisters, a group out of Oakland, and Lance Canellis, who's a local group, and then a group from Visalia, Golden Grass, place Bluegrass.
Oh, okay, very good. All right, well, maybe next year.
Now, who knows what we'll do next year, but we'll be doing something.
Well, let me know next year what it's going to be. If you're going to be doing something and where it's going to be at, instead of just say you're going to do a fundraiser.
All right, sounding good.
All right, I'm out.
All right, still time to get in the radio before we sign out here tonight, or things blow up, whichever comes first. And again, like Rich in Missouri and others, we will wish all the fathers out there a happy Father's Day coming up tomorrow. Fooling with these headphones here. I've got left ear going out, so it just
Break
with
OTR.
everything else, I guess. The break OTR, go ahead.
This is SWL 65 checking in.
Hey, on the air here at 27085. I actually think I had 85. All right, 65 is in. Let me put the X in the square and make you official on the big board. Over.
Thank you very much. I know it's a little late, but I've had a little tough time getting through tonight for some reason. Seems to be working out. Thank you.
Yeah, it's working great. You're almost 10 over, putting in a good signal. The audio sounds very good.
All right, thanks again. It was good listening tonight.
All right, yeah, speaking of tough times, I had a tough time just getting this bucket of bolts on the air tonight. Yeah, you got a great signal, so no problem. We are standing by. You're going to be counting and mounting, and if there's a Radio 12 out there, we'll pick it up.
Break OTR.
And the break OTR, go ahead, over.
And I thank you very much, Dennis, once again. This is SWL 37. We would like to check in an old tube radio, if that's all right with you.
That is perfectly okay, over.
Okay, well, we'll try to do it under time. Over and under. You get over? Yeah, all right. Anyway, I'm going to ask you, do you think you can guess which one this is?
I could, but my headphones are just cutting in and out, so sometimes I'm not hearing too well. And of all the other things breaking here, I'm thinking it might be the Chris, but I'm guessing.
Well, that was a good guess. You know, what can I say? But anyway, yeah, this is the Chris 23 plus CB transceiver. 23 channel 2 glows in the dark with the original handheld stock microphone. Over.
And I think that's one of the ways I can tell, because it had some nice, clean audio, didn't really sound over amplified, but it was loud, and I remembered that was the one, well, one of the ones that has stock microphone on it. So I just took a guess. My second choice would have been the Courier, but all right, at least I did something right tonight.
I'm sure you've done more than once. You're on the air, so that makes two.
I think I'm on the air. I could be fooling myself here.
Okay. All right, Des, I'm going to get out of here. I'll try to get back.
All right, the Chris, 23 plus for radio number 12 at, I'm showing, wow, 10:05, 10:06, something like that. All right, OTR, we're getting close to counting and amounting.
Break OTR.
And the break OTR, go ahead, please.
Was that quick enough?
I think so. Go ahead, over.
Okay, and under and over and over. Yeah, it swinging that way anyway. Anyway, Dennis, this is not the Courier, and it's not the helicopters. This one is the G PowerMate, the Jim Marine products. 23 channel 2 that goes in the dark. This is the pretty blue one. And we're going to listen to hear Wolves, the amplified D104 Lollipop microphone. Over.
All right, see, I could pick that one because it definitely has the amplified microphonium sound to it. I believe that's one of the Panasonic chassis radios, which actually has quite a bit of audio, so you don't need to do too much amplification to make it sound good, but yours is sounding good.
I'm not overdriving, right?
You could probably go with a little bit less audio, but it's sounding good.
Hang on just a second. Yeah, we can go a little bit less. Let me get out my golden screwdriver here.
But it's not bad. You're just going to need to go down a skosh.
How's that?
Give me another transmission with my one-eared headphonium here.
With your one-ear headphonium. Well, I thought you had to have two ears, but... So are you one-eyed, one-eared, blue-eyed purple people ear, whatever?
I know what it is about headphones. They're like the weak link to anything. Any radio station or TV station, it always seems like the headphones just go out. Even if you don't abuse them. Yeah, I think you're sounding good. I wouldn't touch it.
Okay, I just barely tapped it on going downward some. For you said not much. And these things are sensitive on that little screw anyway, so it don't take much to do anything.
Yeah, no, I think you're good. And like I said, if it's a little bit noisy on the channel or you're farther out, I think you're going to have a good mix on the sound there.
Okay. So earlier I heard you say you heard some, what was it, you was getting what, Washington upstate, Washington or what?
It was about a half hour before we started, and there was one station. It was quiet, and the station came in, said they were in Washington, and it kind of faded out. It wasn't a lot of stations, just that one, but the band was definitely open.
Oh, okay. Well, too bad they couldn't stick around longer, huh?
Well, I thought we might get some other openings. Tim Tron, who listens in at oldtuberadio.net, was out there. He's got quite a station. He's an amateur radio operator as well, so I figured if anybody would be able to get to us, it would probably be him, but the conditions didn't stay.
Oh, shame on. All right, well, Dennis, hey, well, if you hang around, I will fire up one more.
Okay, I think we can do that if something fall off the desk here, but we'll hang around. Am I still getting audio? Yeah, all right. And I've got, my apologies for the audio tonight. We are using, yes, here it is. We are using the Turner Plus 3. That is what's feeding the stream tonight. So that is why things don't sound quite as good as they should, but that's what could get us on the air. So I'll be listening for Radio 14. Hey, and my audio control player just came back, so that's a good thing. And this is the Old Tube Radio Network. Any last check-ins?
Yes, there is one here. If it's working.
I'm hearing you on some item. Over. Your transmitter's working. How about your receive? It could be maybe I'm not working.
Nope, you're definitely working.
All right, it's working.
Also, we are running this thing here with the original handheld carbon stock microphone.
All right, very good. Let me. Are you hearing me? Oh, okay, Chris. Over.
Yes, I am. I heard you when you said something else came on.
All right. Sounding good. I'm going to let me get a picture. Where did it go? I thought I had a picture of the helicopters here. As you give us another transmission on the CB3A. Over.
Well, I'm sure you got a picture of it somewhere. You have in the past. Question is, if you can remember where you ate it at.
Well, with this setup here, just because something happened in the past, and Ed can verify that, as he heard me come on earlier and check everything out, and everything was fine, and then a half hour later everything was broken. So you have to be careful.
You know, that happens to radios all the time.
Happens to a lot of stuff all the time. So it's just part of the territory, I think. The CB3A sounding very good. The little phone from 1963 when it was born. It is 2017 and it is still going strong. Boy, I hope you can hear me. My headphones are just totally dying now. 7 tubes. There is a schematic available for that radio at oldtuberadio.com. It's Radio 14, probably our final one of the evening. Give us a transmission before you go.
Okay, yeah, and you're still working. It's getting out fine. You sound marvelous over here. Just marvelous. But anyways, no, you sound good, Dennis, really. I had no problem hearing you over this way. Of course, never have a problem hearing you because you know what you're doing more than I do. Yes, I guarantee you. But, no, you sound fine, Dennis. But yeah, this is my helicopter's model CB3A with, like I said, the original handheld carbon type microphone. Over.
And doing good. No need to adjust a thing. Thanks for bringing it by.
No problem. I'm back out. I didn't take too long to warm up the other one. I had to change the coax and everything. So anyway.
All right, I think I'm still working here. So while it's still working, let me get out of here. Normally the jingle singers would give us a fanfare, but I'd have to hold the microphone up and out to the hallway in the lobby. So we won't make them do anything like that. Let me clear the rigs. Let me go to the main page, and I just want to make sure if there's any other comments that I need to make before we sign out tonight. There are still a lot of stations. Despite my best efforts to drive everyone away, still a lot of stations listening. Hello to Smoky Lake. You're new. This is the Old Tube Radio Network. We do this every Saturday. Sometimes we do it better. Sometimes I do it better. Our tube radio operators are flawless at 8 p.m. Pacific time, where we have the old vintage radios stop by frequency and give us a call and see what we can come up with. Hello to Fresno, Virginia still in there, 128. Las Vegas is in, thanks for watching. Missouri and Schwenksville, Pennsylvania, to name a few, hanging in with us there tonight on this pre-Father's Day edition of the Old Tube Radio Network. All right, with that said, tonight, got to remember, I got 2 microphones I have to address here, so everybody can hear me. Tonight on the SWL side, we had 11 check-ins on page 1, 13 on page 2, 16 on page 3, and 16 on page 4. So we did pretty good with 56 check-ins despite the very late roll call tonight. So thanks everybody for helping me out with that. And radios, we did well too. Maybe I should just mess up more, and we'll do better. 14 radios tonight. Who was the most heard manufacturer? We had 2 E.F. Johnson radios tonight. We had 2 Browning radios check in tonight, I believe. 2 Robins. Maybe there's only 1 Browning, but there were 3 General Radio telephones. So the General Radio telephones take it tonight. Started off with the Robin T123. Make sure I'm still transmitting here. All right, I think I'm on. The T123 from Mr. Ed. Radio number 2 tonight was a General Radio telephone Super MC8. Thanks, Paul, for kind of getting us started in the Super series of the General Radio telephones. It worked out well and put the General Radio telephones as the most heard manufacturer tonight. The Cobra Cam 88 with the great audio. Dennis here in Midtown Fresno, like myself, 77, checking in with that. Goes to show you that there is a sweet spot in every radio. You just got to work to find it. The E.F. Johnson Messenger 223 number 1 was Radio 4 from Mr. Ed, and the E.F. Johnson Messenger 2 was Radio 5 from SWL 93 Louis. SWL 45, Paul on his General Radio telephone Super MC 9 from his collection. The Tram TR27E was Radio 7 from Mr. Ed. Scrambler blowing the dust off of the Courier Royale. That's right, we had 2 Courier Royales checking tonight. Or did we? Did you bring in the Courier? No, he didn't. So anyway, we had 1. The 1 is enough. Patrick, it was acceptable, and I'm sure we'll get together with Harvey, SWL 20, and see if we can't do a little peeking and tweaking on that one to put it back in the tip-top shape the way it used to check in, but it's in there and it's on the archives. The Browning Golden Eagle Mark III SSB, your choice of pings, no waiting, thanks to SWL 7 for that. Radio 10, the Robin T240D from Paul. Was that our only 40 channel radio tonight, I think. The General Radio Telephone Super MC11A, putting the Generals on top. Thanks, Chris, for that. Radio 11. Radio 12, the Chris 23 Plus from Chris. Radio 13 and 14, also from Mr. Go Boy. The Gem Marine Products G-Power Mate for Lucky 13. And the Helicopters CB3A Little Phone for Radio 14. We are in week 4, halfway through the roster here. Hopefully I will be able to sweep up the mess and get things going for next week, so the audio will be a little bit better, but thanks for those who hung in there on our late start. Thanks to, especially tonight, to Frodex at searchlawrence.com that did a little peeking and tweaking himself to get our 6L6 over at oldtuberadio.net to illuminate once again. And thanks to all of you watching and listening at oldtuberadio.net and YouTube video. Don't forget oldtuberadio.com, and of course every Saturday at 27085, if you're in the RF zone, we'd like to hear from you, whether you are tube radioed or not. 73, everybody, from the Old Tube Radio Network, and have a great Father's Day tomorrow.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, Dennis. Thank you for always being there. We'll catch you next weekend. If not on another channel, this one will be the next one.
Good night, Dennis, and all the SWLs.
All right, and from the Turner Sidekick, which saved my Bravo uniform Tango tonight, 73, to the live stream and the video YouTube. Good night, and 73 from the Old Tube Radio Network.